Hi everyone, Mint Morris here. Welcome to my next lesson in my series, Frequently Asked Questions from Private Lessons. If you're interested in seeing the other lessons in this series or booking a private lesson with me, please check out the links in the description below. This lesson is a continuation of our previous one, where we're talking about soloing over 2-5-1 changes. In the previous lesson, we set the foundations for just taking one chord of the 2-5, whether it be the minor chord or the dominant chord, and using that to play over the entire change. This is something that is frequently used in swing and bebop players. It's a way to simplify and stick with and develop one idea over the change and throughout the solo you're playing. So in the previous lesson, we covered the minor chord, the G minor. Now we're going to take a look at the C7 or C9 chord within the context of Honeysuckle Rose. So to break down the C9 chord, we're going to be in the same position we were for the G. So we had a G minor chord right here. We've got the G minor or G minor 7 here. And now if we just drop the minor 7, right, the F down to an E, we have a C7 with a 9. So we have E, that's the third, B flat, that's the flat 7, D, that is the 9, and then G, that is the 5, right? So that's our C9. Put our middle finger down in the bass, and we get the C there. So this is going to be the sound that we're playing over G minor to C7. So to put that into our arpeggio, we're going to basically just play this shape right up the fretboard, or across the fretboard, but adding the G up here so we can have a full arpeggio. So we'll go E, G, B flat, D, G. That's our C9 arpeggio. And then it just resolves right in to this F. So just practicing through that within the context. Right, that's how we put that. Maybe we'll reverse it. Right, so putting that down. Now, we can kind of embellish that a little by putting in approach notes into it, right? So to kind of make it a little longer, make it a little more interesting, give it ornamentation, we have... So we had an ornament on the first note, going into the first note, and an ornamentation on the last note, resolving into the F. You can do the same thing, just now going the opposite way. So that's kind of the basics, kind of getting into that ornamentation. Now what we can start doing is filling out the arpeggio with groups of 3. So this is the chromatic connecting here, where we're looking at the notes we're holding down and thinking of going into them downwards, right, in pitch from a whole step. So A goes down to G, E goes down to D, C goes down to B flat, and then G is going to go down to F, which resolves down into E. So we have this movement. Outlining that chord, and we can do it the other way too. The resolve. So putting that in the mix now, it might go. And resolve. Another way, just opposite. The little different rhythm. Resolve. So what we can start doing now is maybe playing the arpeggio up or down, and then answering that up or downward movement with the chromatics. So it sounds something like this. one thought, moving into the next thought, resolving. Same thing. Okay, so that's taking that idea. And now we're just going to throw the ornamentation for the approach notes right back into the beginning. So. Okay, same thing again, just the kind of the opposite way. Okay, so just taking that kind of now there's three ideas. We have the arpeggio, we have the ornamentation of the approach notes into the arpeggio, and now we have the chromatic connecting points with it. And then just using the rhythm to our advantage of how we want to resolve, whether we want to resolve right on the beat or delay that resolution, okay? And then just seeing the blues right after that in our resolution. Now what we can start doing is expanding that chord to a C9 with a 13. So that is the A. So this is a really common, beautiful sound that's used across the G minor to C7 or just any general 2-5. And it's just like the arpeggio we talked about in the previous lesson. We're going to start, right, E, G, B flat, D, and like the arpeggio in the previous lesson with the G9, we can either go to the G, then to the A, or just go straight up from D to A. So we could have, or, same thing going down. So now we can incorporate that into our playing with our other ideas. So slowly just playing the arpeggio. Again, reverse it. Now with the ornamentation. A little more ornamentation. Okay, and then now with the chromatics. Okay, another way, one last time. So now we've got that idea to use in between playing the melody and ornamenting the melody within Honeysuckle Rose. So, to put that in context. All right, so just one time through, maybe one more time, just using some more of those ideas, maybe trying to fill it out a little more. Okay, so just kind of taking those basic ideas and running with them, dropping in when I can, going to the melody when I'm not doing those, and vice versa. So that's the basic idea, to now incorporate the C7 sound over the 2-5. Now, maybe you noticed this, maybe you didn't, but the C9 is the same thing as a G minor 6th, okay? So whenever you're listening to guys like Barney Kessel, Charlie Christian, early Dizzy Gillespie, and just different bebop players in general and late swing players, whenever you're playing minor tunes, a very common harmony that they employ is the minor 6th harmony. And what they're thinking, if you've done some transcriptions or learn some solos from other people in books maybe, they are just playing the dominant 7th sound that's relative to that minor chord and using the dominant 7 with that added 9, and it sounds like a minor 6th. And so they're not thinking the G minor plus the 6th. They're just playing all of their dominant 7th material with that added 9 to bring out the minor 6th sound of the harmony. So that is a really cool trick. This is one of those kind of two birds, one stone idea, right? Where you're not having to come up with all this new material, right? You're just coming up with one thing and applying it in different contexts, right? With different uses. So take that idea too and run with it. Pick up a tune like Top C maybe, or really any minor tune, and use your dominant 7 licks over it that relate to that minor chord, right? Treat it like a 2-5, and you'll have ideas that are seemingly infinite because you're just using and repurposing all the things you know. So take that, run with it, enjoy, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you.